What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about what's going on with Tesla stock and the overall market. I also want to break down some very important news that came out for Tesla and what's going on with SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers as well. But before I break into about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. Now, this offer ends in just 6 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market and Tesla. So, Tesla's in a very, very interesting place right now, especially after some big pieces of news just came out. There is some news that came out that Tesla workers in Germany have joined another union as health and safety issues grow. Now, this is very subjective and this is prone to like different opinions. Tesla also has a very mixed response to this. However, I just want to mention that, working at Tesla is a very demanding job, so something like this is not necessarily surprising. But at the same time, this could affect Tesla's output to some extent if more and more workers end up joining these unions. So be very careful. We'll see what happens with this. We'll see if the strikes end up expanding to Tesla. As of right now, Tesla's still doing quite well. So we'll see about that for now. There's also this news that came out that Tesla shared a 7-minute video of the Cybertruck off-roading, which is very, very cool. It shows how insanely intelligent and amazing Tesla's design team has been when it comes to crafting a Cybertruck. It also shows how well that this truck could perform in different terrains, and it's very, very awesome to see. Anyways, when it comes to economic reports, there's just one thing coming out for today. At about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time or New York time, we have Jefferson from the Fed giving a speech. That's in about an hour from the time I'm recording this. So he's going to be giving a speech very soon. This could cause some volatility, but that's probably not going to be too crazy. Besides that, there's not a whole lot going on until we approach like CPI day, which I believe is going to be on Thursday. So get ready for that. Besides that, the market is once again just continuing to do its thing. So when it comes to the response to the news that came out in Israel, remember that the bonds market is closed, so the market hasn't been that crazy today, not like super, super exciting. I believe that when the bonds market opens tomorrow, we're going to see more volatility and probably a bigger move. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. This could pump or dump the markets just temporarily, but always remember, like I said before, wars are bullish for the stock market for the medium to long term because of the fact that we tend to see big changes in the bonds market that tends to lead to that. We also tend to see changes in oil and other factors that affect the markets. And then don't forget about the fact that certain military stocks could do a lot better. But besides that, guys, I just want to focus now on Tesla and break down what's going on with it. There's a bullish and a bearish case on Tesla. All right. The bears are going to be arguing, hey, there's a big head and shoulders on Tesla. Tesla needs to sink down very soon. However, the bulls are going to argue that, wait a minute, wait 1 second. When you zoom into the chart, you will notice that we actually have this inverse head and shoulders, and we have a nice accumulation phase right here that could lead to Tesla eventually getting a breakout to these much higher levels. So there are two cases that could be made for Tesla. However, for now, I just want to focus on something that's a lot smaller, and that's going to be this trend right here. So when we zoom into the charts, you will notice that something interesting has happened for the past 4 days. Tesla has developed a new demand zone. So it basically got this breakout right here. See how it broke out like this? And then every time we hit this 250 to 251 area, we see buyers stepping in. So like right here, buyers stepped in, they pushed us up above it. We held above it about 3 trading days ago. Then during Friday, it came down to this 250 area, then bounced. Today it came to 250, tried to bounce. It actually went a little bit higher than 250 at like 252. So overall, it's still seeing buyers stepping in and defending that area. And if this trend continues, there's a chance we could see more buyers try to push it up higher. Now, there's a chance Tesla could fill this gap if we break above 258. So watch that going into tomorrow, if Tesla could break that or not. And once again, guys, I mean, I can't predict this with super, super high confidence because it depends on what happens with the bonds market, our yields, and other things like that once all of them open for tomorrow, because we're going to see a reaction to the war. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But just know if Tesla breaks 258, if we get above that and hold it, we could fill this gap quite quickly all the way back up to the 260s. Now, to turn bearish on Tesla, how on earth could Tesla turn bearish? Right now, we're not actually super, super bearish just yet. I can't truly say that yet because we're still holding above this 250 demand zone. If it breaks below 250, it could come down towards this imbalance at like 248. If that fails us, then 242.75 to 245 are possibilities. But as of right now, we haven't really broken that, so it's still holding up quite decently. We also have a nice potential accumulation structure on the 5 minute time frame on Tesla. Tesla actually dropped about this 252 area. We mentioned that if it broke below 254 in the morning, right, we had this like sideways trend. Tesla could see a move to the downside, and that's what happened. But then Tesla came back above 254, so now it's trying to hold up. So we're going to be watching these levels very carefully. If Tesla again breaks below 254, there is potential for it to come down to 252. And if it breaks below 252, watch it come down to 250. Watch those levels very carefully. 250 is critical support. If Tesla holds above these levels, this 254 zone, and tries to push back up, watch resistance at 255.7, which is where we got this rejection from this candlestick right here. Above this, the mid 256 area, which is very close to our 200 EMA at 256.5, is another critical resistance. If we break above this, 258 is a possibility. Now, for now, Tesla is slowing down a bit on the 5 minute time frame. So watch these supports very carefully, especially this 254 area. And with that said, that's what I have for Tesla, at least for the time being. But just know that tomorrow there's going to be a big reaction. If you want to hold Tesla overnight, that's your choice. I don't know what's going to happen exactly because, like I said before in my earlier video, when the bonds market opens, the initial reaction to the war could be very, very capricious and very, very nuanced. We don't know what's going to happen exactly. That's just going to be the quick initial reaction. But then when it comes to how it's going to move for the medium term, it could and most likely will try to pump the markets because war tends to be bullish for the stock market. I hope that's as clear as possible. We'll just have to wait and see what the bonds market does. For SPY, this is actually holding up quite nicely. It's actually looking a little bit stronger than Tesla, at least for the time being. We got this nice pump to fill this gap. We were talking about this gap getting filled. If we manage to break and hold above 428, that would favor the bulls. And that's what happened today. So we got the bullish breakout for SPY, at least for now. It is starting to slow down a little bit, so watch the support at 428.34 as of right now at the time I'm recording this. If it breaks below that, there's 428, 427.5, and then below that, we have those other lower levels, such as 427, and then we have like 426 below that, which is the low from the pre-market. For resistance, we have 430 as critical resistance, also 429, which is where our 5 EMA happens to be. And so watch all those resistance levels. SPY is cooling off a little bit. I think it's just going to kind of like shuffle for the rest of the day, trade kind of sideways, be a little bit boring. I'm not really expecting anything too crazy. It might just be range bound for the rest of the day, just go back and forth and back and forth. But remember, there's going to be a much bigger move tomorrow once the real reaction comes. Now, for Aapl, we were talking about this in the morning. Aapl was looking a little stronger to me, but we had to watch that 178 resistance level. That's where Aapl ended up getting stopped. So that's very close to what we were talking about. We filled the gap on Aapl. We were talking about that too. Aapl has now filled this gap, which helped the market pump, but now it's rejecting a little bit. Watch support at 177.36. Below that, we have 177 flat and 176.5. Watch those levels carefully on Aapl. It's slowing down a little bit, which could slow the market down a little bit more as of right now, but just watch support very carefully and we'll see how things go from there. To add on to this, I just wanted to mention that the QQQ is also starting to slow down just a little bit, but it's very much just flat, okay? If you want to turn bearish on the QQQ, okay, you want to be watching this support down here. Support right now, this very strong support is going to be very close to this like 360.5 area. If it breaks below that, I could see it come down towards this 357.5 zone. And for resistance, we have 365 as resistance. If we break above this, this thing could start pushing for higher levels, such as 368. If we get above 366 to 365, which is where we have this resistance zone, as of right now, it's just kind of like trading sideways. It may just continue to shuffle for the rest of the day. And then we'll see what happens tomorrow when the bonds are open and how they react to the Israeli war. On top of this, I just want to mention that Nvda looking a little bit weaker than the market, very, very flat and also weak at the same time. If you look at the 5 minute time frame, it's just been trading kind of sideways here, hasn't really done much. So our support on Nvidia as of right now is going to be close to this 50 EMA. You can see it's trying to like hold right here at 447. If it breaks below this, it could come all the way down to this 445 area, which is not that strong. Then we have 444 below that. You can see we just barely came below it before coming right back up at 444. If we lose 444, 442, and then 440 are some key supports. Those are like minor supports, 440 being the most significant one of those three. For resistance, it's very close to this 200 EMA. It came just under that, so super, super close to about this 448.8 area. If it breaks above that, there is potential for it to get all the way up to almost 450, but as of right now, it's looking a little bit weaker. So I believe that Nvidia may just continue to trade sideways for the rest of the day, not really do too much. And then we'll see what happens with the big reaction for tomorrow. Anyways, the VIX is up about 5.21%, starting to hold up quite decently, kind of trading flat as well. We have a gap down here on the 5 minute time frame. Let me just double check on the 4 hour. I believe that the VIX is looking a little weaker on the 4 hours, so that does make some room for upside tomorrow, possibly, but no guarantees. Depends on the bonds market. And then we have the dollar, which is still holding up. It ended up like pushing a little bit, and now it's just trading sideways. So we'll see what the dollar does tomorrow. There is a possible inverse head and shoulders forming here, however. So this could turn in the direction of the market slowing down a bit. So many indicators are very indecisive. We will see what happens for now. So we'll just wait and see. And that's pretty much it for now. So watch these levels. The market is kind of tight right now, not really doing anything too crazy. And then the big move should be coming tomorrow once we see the different sectors of the market opening. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you all so much for listening. Watch these levels carefully on Tesla. It's still, once again, just shuffling around this 254 area, not really doing much. We'll see what happens, and don't forget to watch some critical supports very carefully. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Get ready for Jefferson's speech, which starts at about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time or New York time. Get ready for it. May cause some volatility here and there, but probably nothing too insane, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it. The rest of the day should be kind of cool, and then I'll see you guys later on for the last video of the day. Thank you, and peace out.